What is up, lovely people? My name is Roo, and today we are continuing on with Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. So in the last episode, there was a case of a tavern keeper getting murdered, and we basically saw who killed them already, but for some reason, the one that got arrested is the tavern keeper's daughter, and our main character is a defense attorney who is going to do all he can to acquit the daughter, the tavern keeper's daughter. So yeah, I know that this is basically just like Phoenix Wright, Ace of Attorney, but I already seen the story of it, but I never got the chance to play it. I might play it on my own, on stream probably. I'm starting to forget like the gameplay of it. Well, I'm starting to remember it now in this game. But this game, I don't know the story about it at all. So that's why this is the one that I'm playing instead of Phoenix Wright Ace of Attorney. And it's starting to be interesting for now. There are still a bit of original thing, like the style and maybe like the fantasy genre and all that. But the gameplay is basically the same of Phoenix Wright, based on what I know, what I have watched before. But you know what? We are gonna see if we can save the tavern keeper's daughter named Celeste from being casted guilty on the charge, even though she is not the one who did it. So let's just get to it. We just did a trial, and now we are doing, I guess, investigation. There we go. Yes. Oh, the dead body's right here. You arrived back at the McCoy's Tavern. And by the way, I apologize for my weird, not good voice acting in the first episode. I hate it myself, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep at it. You arrive back at the McCoy Tavern. Lucky for you, the Inquisition set up a teleportation circle for you to use. Really? With that circle, you can magically teleport between the capital and the crime scene instantaneously. That's the difference of Phoenix Wright and Tyrion. Teleporting instead of cars. It's definitely miles better than having to travel by carriage, or yeah, sure. Oh, it's you. He's the knight, basically a sheriff. What are you doing here? Excuse me, I'm gonna voice crack. Commander White takes notice of you as you enter the tavern. It looks like he's working with a team of knights to investigate the crime scene. I'm the defense attorney in this case. I have just as much right to investigate this crime scene as you do. Yeah, whatever. Just remember, I got my eye on you, kid. Talk. Or examine. There's a chalk outline of a person on the ground of the tavern. This is probably where Flintheart died. The outline matches the picture that the Inquisition took. Nothing seems out of place here. What's this? There's a modern-looking lamp mounted on the wall. It's a lamp powered by artificery. I didn't expect to find something this sophisticated in a town like this. The artificery is another form of magic. Actually, artificery, is that the way to pronounce it? Draws us from surrounding ley lines too. I didn't ask for a science lesson, kid. Anyways, look where artificery got these full. Arcane power cell broke, and they haven't had any power for weeks. Yep, nothing can beat good old oil and flame. Oh, we got clues though. The McCoy Inn is outfitted with several lamps powered by artificery. However, the arcane power cell has been broken for weeks, and the lamps can't be turned on. What about... We already checked that? No! Shut up, shut up, shut up! No! We got it already. This one. That was a weird placement. The Inquisition lit some candles, but there's a magical lamp right there. I wonder why they're not using those instead. What about this? There's a broken bottle on the floor. It's shattered close to the chalk outline of the body. The label has the words Lotus Juice on it. I've never heard of that brand before. Must be foreign. Okay. The shattered remains of the glass bottle. You found it next to Flintheart McCoy's body. The label says the words Lotus Juice. But this guy, if he's going to be like Gumshoe, he's not at all Gumshoe from Phoenix Wright, though. Ooh. It's a painting of a mage, and there's some text on it. So Mala Daglian, a legendary practitioner of the arcane arts, he mysteriously disappeared one day. It's rumored that he was developing a formula for a new transmutation of a spell. However, he was reckless in casting the spell, and Daglian quickly lost control of its magic. His body was never found. Many speculate that he didn't actually die during the accident, but if that's true, where did he end up? Sounds like a cautionary tale against using magic. That might explain why Flintheart keeps it in his tavern. Anything else? Oh. Uncle Sam. It's a painting of a man in a suit. There's some text on it. Adam Evley, politician of the Pedantic. I've heard of this guy. He's some kind of politician from one of the nations west of here. I've heard he's pretty much a shoo-in to win whatever election they have going there. An election? Was Flintheart studying democracy for his little revolution? Anything else? I think that should be it. Okay, back. What about talk to you question? I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the case. Ha. Ha. As if I'd help the likes of you. I saw who your boss is, and I know what you're up to. That witch probably sent you here to con me. What? I'm just looking for some information. A likely story. He was cooperative before when he lets you seek Celeste. Why is he being so stubborn now? Is he angry that you embarrassed him in court today? In any case, you won't get anywhere at this rate. If you want his help, you need to persuade him through an argument. Yay! Psychological. It helps to prepare before starting an argument with someone. Talk to Orem or present item to him to build a psychological profile for him. If you successfully fill the profile gauge, you'll receive more information during any arguments against him. The Inquisition. So, What does the Arcane Inquisition do exactly? You trying to pick a fight with me? You trying to pick a fight with me? No. I am just genuinely curious. Well, I'm sure you already know, but us Inquisitors investigates crimes that involve magic. Do crimes like this happen often? I mean, do crimes? I can't tell. Do crimes like this happen often? Nah, maybe once in a blue moon. It makes sense. Most mages are in the nobility after all. Even if they're untouchable, they don't make a habit of getting into trouble with the law. You must have an easy job then. You got that right. The only reason we exist is to clean up the nobility's mess. He doesn't seem that happy about that. Okay. Mages, let's not do this one. Commander White, you seem to speak negatively about my client's magic. Do you have a personal grudge against mages? You're dang right I do. Wow, he didn't even try to deny it. And if you had any sense, you would too. All a mage would have to do is wave their hand and say some magic nonsense. Then you suddenly have a dead body on the ground. And don't get me started on mage blight. If some nobles use their magic too much, they end up snapping and going on a rampage. I don't know if this is going too far, but why join the Inquisition if you hate mages so much? Considering that fact that my job is to sweep the nobility's crime under the rug? Sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate. Nope. You have the right of it. Anytime a noble is involved in the case, I'm ordered to look the other way. You don't seem very happy to do that. Why would you stay in this line of work? Because every once in a while, I'm allowed to put a criminal mage behind bars. We can't go after the nobles, but any other mage is fair game. Or at least, they were before your boss showed up. Your boss? Does he have something against Miss Timora? Okay, so we got... Oh, Ruby Timora. Never mind. I have to ask. Did something happen between you and Miss Timora? Ha! Miss Timora. What are you? Her lackey or something? No, actually, she's my guardian. Oh, I didn't know she even had a... Look, kid, I don't know what the deal is between you two, but no good will ever come from associating with her. This is about the rumor, isn't it? Throughout the year, there have been several insidious rumors surrounding Miss Timora. She's been accused of forgery, blackmail, and all manner of illegal activity. It's clearly misinformation spread by the nobilities to discredit her. She's always been fine with it, but you can't help but get angry on her behalf. It's more than just rumors. I've seen it for myself. That woman is evil, kid. She defends mages who doesn't have the protection of the nobility. She's not evil. She's a hero. Yeah, whatever. Yay, we got it. Now we argue. Bam. Commander White seems unusually hostile towards you. And you have a feeling it's not just because you embarrassed him in court today. If you can clear up this misunderstanding, you might be able to convince him to help you. Start. Wait, can I save this? Hold on! Shush! Hold on. Oh, we can't. Shoot. Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Do you have a problem with me, Mr. Commander White? You should know exactly what my problem is with you. I saw who you work for. Do I have to spell it out for you? Ruby Timora is a crooked lawyer, or does your boss not tell you what she gets up to? Arguments are not always fought using hard evidence. Sometimes you need to elocute, what does that mean? To convince your opponent that their claim is wrong. When prompted for an elocution... My dad doing something? Why is there a huge sound right now? When prompted for an elocution, choose from one of the 3 possible responses. The correct responses can be gleaned from reading your opponent's psychological profile. Okay, hold on. Commander White is stubborn and stuck in his ways. He seems to have a grudge against Ruby Timora and will react negatively if you try to defend her. However, he will respect you if you defend yourself against personal attack. Regardless of what Miss Timora has done, I'm the one heading... Okay, this sounds right. You have no right to throw baseless accusations against me or Miss Timora. This one sounds more right. It doesn't matter how you feel about me or Miss Timora. What matters is that my client deserves a fair trial with fair representation. This could be right too, but I think this is the one. Regardless of what Miss Timora has done, I'm the one heading the case. Whatever problems you have with her, they have nothing to do with me. That still doesn't change the fact that you work for her. I've seen that woman do all kinds of shady crap in the cases I've worked. Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you name it. You're just another crook. I'll bet you're just the same. A successor for the devil of defense attorney. Oh, I was so close to clicking that. I'm not Ruby Timora. Regardless of what you've seen her do, I'm going to run an honest case. Me being her successor has nothing to do with it. Forgery, bribery, blackmail? Have you seen me do any of those things? Because all I've done so far is point out the mistakes that you've made. I think I'll defend, or this one could be right too, but let's try this. I'm not Ruby Timora. It doesn't matter if the rumors are true or not. Regardless of what you've seen her do, I'm going to run an honest case. Oh, it was right. Look, kid, I'd like nothing more than to believe you. But after everything I've seen her do, I know better. I have no reason to trust you. Anyone taught by that woman can't be anything more than a crook. Have you seen me engage in any crook-like behavior? It's I didn't want to look at that, but that one sounds right. Her way of teaching me was ruthless. I'll give you that. But the only thing that she taught me was how to practice law. That just sounds right. I didn't want to look at that. And because we already look at those elections, so that's why I wanted to pick that. We already picked those other selections. That's why I picked rationalize. So, yeah. But, yeah, I've been defending myself, so it works. But the only thing that she taught me was how to practice law. Have you seen me engage in any crook-like behavior? And I won. You just wanted some info, right? Yes, that's all I'm asking for. All right. All right. I'll answer your questions. Just don't make me regret this. Yay! All right. We talk murder weapon. This probably goes without saying, but I don't believe that the sword is the murder weapon. Right. I guess you have to prove that someone else put the sword there. Did the Inquisition find anything suspicious on the scene? If you're asking if we found another bloody weapon lying around, we definitely didn't. That would be a little too convenient, wouldn't it? But let's say that the girl really is being framed. If there was another murder weapon, the killer probably walked out with it. Do you think they could have hidden it somewhere in the tavern? Doubt it. After the trial, Steelwind turned the plate upside down and scanned it with her magic. If someone did hide a murder weapon here, they hid it well. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Or they hid it in plain sight. Orum's mistakes. I can't believe you made such an obvious mistake during your investigation. Oh, shut it already. Shut it with that. I already got an earful from Steelwind about that mess. Well, you don't have to worry about me mucking things up. Mucking? Is that another word for the F word? Steelwind's basically taken over the entire investigation. Wait, does she have the authority to do that? Normally she wouldn't, but I know better than to go against orders from a noble. Right, there's definitely a strange power dynamic between them. But honestly, that girl sweats the details too much. She even had my man draw up a scaled map of the crime scene. Wait, really? Do you have a copy? Sure, knock yourself out. Don't know how much good it'll do to you. Crime scene map. McCoy Tavern have been added to your notes. Hold on. Oh, now this save shows up. Okay, we're saving. More? Arya Steelwind. I've heard that this was Prosecutor Steelwind's first trial. She must be pretty talented if that's true. A pain in my butt is what she is. That dying noble comes in here telling me how to do my job. I honestly have no idea what she's even doing in this line of work. I heard that she's from a renowned noble house. She must be a pretty powerful mage. Ha! Powerful is an understatement. The Steelwind who came before her could turn this entire town into a glass crater. What? There's no way that's true, right? There's no true. You think you found everything that you can here. But what does it all mean? There's no murder weapon to be found. And there's no obvious evidence of another person at the scene. Hey, you okay? You got quiet all of a sudden. Alright, just focus. Close your eyes and let everything else disappear from the world. Hey, you listening? So, there's no clear evidence pointing to another killer. There is, however, evidence pointing to how Flintheart moved before his death. What? What can we tell about how Flintheart died? There's no blood trail leading to or from the body. What does this imply about the location of Flintheart's death? Flintheart framed Celeste? Flintheart attacked Flintheart? Can I scroll this? there's no blood trail, so meaning he didn't move. After the murder? Okay, if I say after, they're just gonna refute that he already died. So of course he didn't move. So I think I'm gonna say during. Flintheart died when he was attacked. He didn't move from his position at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's also the autopsy report, which says that he died from a stab from behind. He was probably caught off guard and was too incapacitated. What? I'm so bad at reading to move anywhere else. This means that the attack happened at the exact position he fell over. Crime scene map has been updated in your notes. There's also the shattered bottle of lotus juice. How did the bottle shatter? I doubt it means anything, but the shattered bottle is right next to the body. Flintheart, I think dropped the bottle after the attack? I don't get the during and the after part. I might be wrong, so I might be wrong if I pick after, so maybe during? During the attack? Oh wait, what am I thinking? I'm stupid. If it's after the attack, he already fell to the ground. And the bottle is next to him, but not really that close, right? Flintheart dropped the bottle when he was attacked. From that, we can infer that he was holding it the moment before he was attacked. Drop it during the murder. What's so strange about one bottle though? It may seem like an insignificant detail, but that detail could help me infer other elements of what happened during the murder. Excuse me. Right. There's also the fact that artificial lights were up. What am I doing? There's also the fact that artificial lights were out. Were these candles here when you arrived at the crime scene, Orem? No. We had to light some so we can see the crime scene properly. We thought it was weird too. The girl and her father must have had their argument in pitch black darkness. What can we infer about the state of the crime scene? So, they didn't light any candles to make up for the broken lights. The crime scene, the town and the basement had nothing here. Had nothing, we didn't even mention anything of that. No customers, had no witness, no lighting. I'm just gonna say during the murder? Was that right? The crime scene had no lighting during the murder? Yeah, I think, that one's right. The argument that Celeste had with Flintheart must have been spontaneous. They weren't planning to have, a conversation in this room. In this darkness, Flintheart wouldn't have a lot of visibility. If he was stabbed from behind, he probably didn't see it coming. He was clearly surprised and was probably in too much shock to run away. Also, the bottle may seem insignificant, but he was holding it when he was attacked. Maybe he was pouring a drink for himself, Or maybe it was for a visitor. Either way, the assailant must have been unseen by Flintheart. Could. Or the assailant attacked him from his blind spot while his back was turned. Isn't this incriminating, who is it? Celeste? Why would his back be turned though? Was he distracted by something? Good. What? What was that all about? Sorry. Sometimes I just get lost in my own thoughts. Yeah, well, cut it out. You're freaking me out. Right. Sorry. Right. Anyways, you think you found everything you can here. You should move elsewhere. To where? Not to the courthouse. McCoy Tavern? Upstairs? But for what reason? Inquisition? I mean, I think we don't need to go up there. We don't need to go to the courthouse. Let me see this. If people keep seeing you here, they're going to start asking questions. Leave the investigation to me. All you have to do is stay quiet until the trial is over. While heading upstairs, you spot the prosecutor having a conversation with someone. They seem to be in some kind of argument. Isn't he the obvious one? Enough. I will do as I see fit. Is he a Steelwind? You may be a Steelwind, but this is my land. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're that defense attorney. You're that defense attorney from the trial? I am. I'm sorry, but who? How rude of me. My name is Lord Garrick Pierce. My name is the murderer. The ruling noble of this land. Unless there's a twist going on all of a sudden. Nobleman. Okay. As the ruling noble, I suppose I should thank you for playing your role in the current trial. As misguided as it may be. I suppose that you also think my client is guilty. It does not matter what I think. This entire scandal has done nothing but rile up the common folk. Magic is a gift for the nobility, and the nobility alone. It's a symbol of the aristocracy and our divine right to rule. And now that crazy kid has tainted that symbol in the public eye. All of that has nothing to do with her. She's just an innocent woman who got wrapped up in all this. Even if she is innocent, the charges have been laid and made public. Someone must take the fall. There you go. Lest the public accuse the justice system of corruption. So you're saying that she should be found guilty even if she's innocent? What do you suppose will happen if she's acquitted? All the public will see is a mage going free despite a myriad of evidence. That alone would be enough to cause public outrage. Tension between the aristocracy and the common folk are high enough as is. What is wow, you're so messed up. What is one insignificant girl when compared to the stability of our great kingdom? That's enough. Stop antagonizing him, Pierce. I can't refute what he said, but I don't agree with it. I can't disagree with it. Did I read that wrong? What? What? The system should be based on truth and justice, not on public opinion. Then why are you working against my client? Do you honestly think she's the kind of person that would kill her father? It doesn't matter what kind of person she appears to be. The evidence clearly points to her as the only possible killer. But you should fight according to your own ideals, just as I will fight for mine. It's hard to get a read on that woman. And I guess we're good. Is there anything to move? Wait. Several doors lead to guest room. Aside from the rooms that you and Miss Timora use, they don't look like they've been open for quite some time. So what about you? There's a door at the end of the hallway. It looks like it's seen some use recently. You tried to open the door, but it seems to be locked. Perhaps someone might have the key to open it. Isn't it Celeste? Maybe we should talk to her then. You return to the cell that Celeste is being kept in. Well, negative feeling. The ambient despair in the air fills your mind like a horrendous stench. You do your best to ignore the emotions of the other prisoner, but you hadn't had much practice blocking out this many people. As you arrive, you see Celeste huddled down in a corner. As soon as she sees you, her sour mood seems to lift, if only for a moment. Hold on, let me save this. Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mr. Cuthbert. There's no need to address me so formally. Just call me Tyrion. Oh, first name basis. Okay. Anyways, I came here to ask you some questions about the case. Right. Talk. The trial. I'm sorry for freezing up like that. I almost lost us the trial. No, there's no need to apologize. You did great. But it's only thanks to her. If she hadn't calmed me down, who knows what would happen. But I still don't understand though. Why were there traces of magic on my dad's body? Right. Those traces of magic were on the sword and the body. Magical traces are particles of magical residue that are left behind when a mage casts a spell. They only linger around for 48 hours, and that gives you a rough timeline of when and where a spell is cast. Did you cast Magic Blade on your sword that day? I did. I usually cast it when I train in the morning. That explains why there was a trace on the sword at least. Did the trace on my sword leave the magical trace on my dad's body? No, magical traces can't be moved around physically. For a spell to leave a trace, it has to be active when physical contact is made. Really? What does that mean then? Whatever killed your father has a transmutation spell active on it at the time. The magical trace on your sword was just an unlucky coincidence. I can't believe this. Flintheart McCoy. Could you tell me about your father? Yikes. Sorry. I know this must be difficult after everything that happened. No, it's okay. If it helps you, I'll try my best to answer your question. Were you two close? We were. I'm sure you know this by now, but I was adopted by him and my mom. But even though I didn't have their blood, they treated me as if I did. He loved me with all his heart until... Until? Until what? Does this have something to do with the argument that they had? The argument. I'm sorry to say this, but I could hear your argument from my room that night. Could you tell me about what happened? For as long as I can remember, my dad has hated mages. I'm not sure why, but if you even mention magic around him, he flies into a rage. So I hid my magic from my family. Well, why even learn magic in the first place? If you really wanted to, you could have gone your whole life without it, using it. Ever since our tavern closed, my family's been in a lot of debt. I decided to become a mercenary and use magic to enhance my ability to fight. Most mages are in the nobility, so people will pay a lot for a sellsword who can use magic. So that's why she's a mercenary. Learn magic so she could support her family as a mercenary. Apparently, many people will pay extra for a mercenary that can use magic. But I know now, learning magic was the biggest mistake I've ever made. On that night, my dad found my spell compendium. When he confronted me about it, I finally came clean to him. That's when he flew into another one of his rages. He shouted at me. He told me that I'd betray him and his family. I'm sorry. I can't imagine how that must have felt. I deserved every bit of it. I knew how much he hated magic, but I learned to use it anyways. He showed me so much love, and I just threw it all away. Don't say that. I'm sure he still loved you. No, I could see it in his eyes. He hated me, and he died hating me. Oh, we can refute that, right? You feel a sharp pain in your chest as you see that thought. Locked door. Huh. So, there's a locked room in the tavern. It's at the very end of the hallway upstairs. The Inquisition probably searched it already, but I just wanted to investigate it to make sure. A locked room at the end of the hallway? I think that's my room. Do you know how I could get in there? It's the only room in the tavern that I haven't investigated. You feel a suspicious gaze from Celeste. What's that look for? I'm your lawyer. I'm not going to do anything weird. Sorry, you're right. Here, you can use this key to get inside. Cool. I guess we go back to... We go here. Celeste. I guess it's already open, so Celeste's bedroom. You use the key to enter Celeste's room. However, you're startled when you notice that someone else is already inside. What the fudge? I've already told you, Knight, everything I know. What more do you... Oh, are you Celeste's attorney? I am. Who are you? Oh, how rude of me. I'm Jolene McCoy. I'm Celeste's mother. I was at the trial this morning. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for my daughter. So this is Celeste's mother. She might be able to tell you more about Flintheart. About that, do you mind if I ask you some questions for my investigation? Of course. I'll do anything I can to help. You better be useful then. Flintheart McCoy. Can you tell me why your husband hates mages so much? I understand that most people dislike the nobility and associate magic with them. But on that night, it seems it's like he was furious at Celeste specifically. Excuse me, oh gosh, excuse me. because he was a mage. Oh, you must have talked to Celeste. I wasn't there when their argument happened, but I can only imagine what he said to her. Do you know what happened to him? Why does he hate magic so much? Celeste doesn't know about this, but years ago, Flintheart has a sister named Effie. When we were all children, we were friends with a boy named Garrick Pierce. We just saw him. He was the son of the ruling noble at the time. Garrick Pierce? Isn't that the nobleman that was speaking with Steelwind earlier? We were all inseparable at that time. He'd always sneak into town to play with us against his family's wishes. They probably weren't too happy about that. He was quite rebellious back then, but he's completely a different person now, that face. But everything changed when Garrick began learning how to use magic. One day, when we were playing together, he wanted to show off the spells that he'd learned. He was told not to use his magic without his instructor there, but he was just too excited. He began casting his spell, but something went horribly wrong. He lost control of his magic and fatally wounded Effie. We tried bringing her back into town, but by that time, it was too late. She was already gone. I'm sorry. That must have been traumatizing for all of you. The next day, the Arcane Inquisition came to investigate what happened. House Pierce used their connection to cover up what happened. They even threatened Flintheart's family into keeping quiet. After that, the official story was that Effie had been mauled by a wolf. That's not surprising. The nobility seldom takes responsibility for their action, even for a mistake like that. Flintheart's sister died during an accident involving Garrick Pierce and his magic. Ever since then, he has hated magic and the mages who wield them. Something changed in Flintheart after that. He began speaking out against the nobility. And eventually, he started hosting rallies in this very tavern. Each night, more and more people began listening to his words and joining his cause. The number of people that he'd gotten under his banner was terrifying. There was even talk of an outright revolution against the kingdom. That might explain why someone would go out of their way to kill him. It might be Garrick. It's obvious. I knew how much danger he was putting himself in, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't convince him to stop. This is a long one. His attitude didn't even begin to change until we adopted Celeste McCoy. Can you tell me more about Celeste? How did she become a part of your family? It all happened many years ago, back when the McCoy Tavern was still open. We were closing one night when we found a baby with white hair abandoned in the dining area. We waited weeks for her parents to come by, but no one ever came looking for her. And that baby was Celeste? Yes. Flintheart and I had always wanted a child. I thought that Celeste must have been a gift from the Scale Lord. But one day, I saw Celeste practicing her magic. I think that's when I realized that someone from the nobility must have abandoned her at our inn. I didn't care though. I loved her all the same. I'm sure Flintheart did too. Wait, you knew that she was a mage all this time? I did. You haven't known her very long, but she's a terrible liar. Flintheart must have noticed it too, but I think he didn't want to believe it. It's my fault. I should have forced him to see the truth. Anything else? Linhardt and Celeste. I spoke with Celeste earlier. She thinks that her father hated her because she was a mage. There's no way he would ever feel that way. He loved her more than anything in the world. No matter what he said to her that night, nothing would ever change that. After seeing them together, you figured as much. Celeste was the world to him. When we adopted her, it was the first time in decades that I've seen him so genuinely happy. They must have been really close. More than anything. Do you want to hear the story? Celeste had just returned from her travels. She wouldn't stop talking about this foreign drinks that she loved. I think it was called lotus juice or something strange like that. Linhardt was holding the lotus juice. Well, Linhardt did everything he could to have it shipped here. He called in a bunch of favors with some of his revolutionary friends. But in the end, he was only able to get a single bottle of it. Is it really that rare? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if it were the only bottle of lotus juice in the region. Wait a minute, lotus juice? Is this the bottle that Linhardt brought? Excuse me, hold on. You show her a picture of the shattered bottle that you found next to Linhardt's body. It is! Oh no, he was going to surprise her with it. I found the broken pieces next to Linhardt's. Well, I found them in the dining area. That's strange. He's been keeping it in our room so she wouldn't find it. Really? When was the last time you saw it? Right before I left the house that night. It was right before their big argument. Though it wasn't just laying around in the bar. He decided to retrieve it after the argument. Celeste's favorite drink. Oh, this is starting to be sad. He was holding Celeste's favorite drink. Alright, you think you investigated everything you can for now, but there's still one last thing you need to do. You ready yourself for one last conversation with Celeste. Okay. Bye. Celeste! Oh! Oh, you're back! Did you forget something? Actually, there's one last thing I wanted to talk to you about. Oh? Earlier, you said something that I just can't let go. You said that your father died hating you. But after everything I've heard about him, I don't think that's true. Your father loved you, Celeste, even in his final moments. Hold on, I am predicting some kind of craziness right now. Wait, why did I save it there? Save it here, too. You desperately want to reach her. If she keeps believing that he hated her, that thought will eat her away at her for the rest of her life. You know that better than anyone. It's something about your past, huh? He's just lying to make me feel better. But it looks like it won't be that simple. You'll need to win an argument against her if you want to see her to see the truth. Yep, I'm saving it. Let's do it. I think I got this. Hold on, I got my water. I'm good. Let's do this. Celeste believes that her father died hating her. But after seeing them together and learning about them, you can't You know that can't possibly be true. You just need to convince her of that. Let's do this! My eyes look cool. I know that you're trying to make me feel better, and I really do appreciate it. But everyone knows that my father hates mages. Maybe is it because of Flintheart's sister? That maybe we should tell him why he hates mages? I don't know if it's my place to say this, but there's a reason why your father hated magic so much. What? When Flintheart was a child, he had a younger sister. She was tragically killed by a mage decades ago. That's why he had such an immense hatred for magic. I never knew. But that doesn't change anything. That's all the more reason for him to have hated me. It was selfish of me to learn magic. I knew how much he hated magic, but I still learned to use it anyway. Magic killed someone that he loved. No wonder he was furious. Which one's this one then? Occupation. Learn magic so she can support her family as a mercenary. Apparently, many people will pay extra for mercenary that can be used. Anything else? No. No. Although, I didn't see this. Right here. Okay. I guess this? But you didn't learn the magic to benefit yourself, did you? You learned to save your family after your tavern was shut down. You're a good person, Celeste, and you did everything you could to help your family. I'm sure your father recognized that too. Just shut up. What? Shut up. Just stop it. Whatever composure she had before you slowly breaking down. You weren't there. You didn't hear what he said to me. In his final moments, he could only think of how I betrayed him. I could see it in his eyes. There's no way he could ever forgive me. The bottle, girl. He got the bottle of your favorite drink. Take a look at this picture, Celeste. What? A shattered bottle? Wait, is that a bottle of lotus juice? Do you know where I found this? On the floor of your family's inn. What? That can't be true. I tried to find it here, but no one sells it in Wyverngard. Your father knew how much you loved this drink. This is starting to be sad. He called in quite a few favors just so he could have it imported for you. What? He did that? Your father didn't hate you, Celeste. He loved you more than anything. That doesn't change anything. If he did that all for me, it was before he knew about my secret. I'm sure he never would have done that if he knew the truth. That's not true at all. What the heck would you know about him? You barely even knew him. How could you possibly know how he felt about me? Don't you think I want to believe that he still loved me before he died? But I know the truth. There's no way he would ever forgive me for what I did. It's not just the fact that he bought that drink for you. It's also where the bottle was when it shattered. What do you mean? Your mother said that the bottle was stowed in her room before your argument. But I found the shattered bottle in the lobby where his body was. I ran into him before I went to look for you. He was going upstairs to his room. that can only mean one thing. He went to retrieve the bottle after your argument ended. Oh God, I am starting to get emotional. What? Why would he have it? It's because he was going to give it to you, Celeste. He was going to give you a gift to apologize for what he said to you. Oh gosh, why am I being emotional? He was going to apologize? Your father loved you, Celeste. And as tragic as it is, he was going to try to apologize to you before he was murdered. I don't like this. My daughter working as a mercenary of all things. Come on, Dad. You know I can handle myself. I don't doubt it. But you still shouldn't have to risk your neck for our sakes. They closed the inn, Dad. We won't be able to survive unless I do this. Just be careful, okay? I don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you. No matter what anyone says, you're our daughter, and we'll love you until the day we die. Dad, how could I ever think that? I'm sorry, Dad. Celeste had barely been keeping it together throughout the whole argument. Oh gosh, I'm also being a little tearful too. But her realization is finally causing her to break down. She begins crying loudly as she quickly embraces you. In this cold, dark place, she probably hadn't felt warmth of any kind for days. You're caught off guard and feel a little embarrassed, but you comfort her, while she vents her emotion. Yay! Leads to tears, but yay! Are you feeling better? Yeah, I think I'm okay now. I've been thinking such horrible things this entire time. She looks at you and gives you a warm smile. It's probably the first time you've seen her genuinely smile since this whole ordeal started. Thank you. But is everything really going to be okay? I'll make sure of it. I'll get justice for you and your father. It doesn't matter who stands in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god. You're completely different now. What happened to the nervous wreck from before? Ah, please forget about that. Anyway, take some time to rest. The trial is going to resume soon. With that, you've done everything you can for now. You've learned a lot about what happened the night of the murder. You just hope it's enough. But even with your investigation, you still don't know what the prosecution has planned. Well, hold on. Save this. Wait, what? Why is it still in the... Oh, is this still part of the investigation? Has Pierce told you all the details, Mr. Rudolph? Will you remember them? Yes, I pride myself on my eidetic memory. Just so there are no misunderstandings, I do not approve of this. You said it yourself, Lady Steelwind. There's no possible way that I could have done the deed. It has to be that crazy child. We don't know what sort of tricks Ruby Timora might pull tomorrow. Just see this as a way of securing a just verdict. Well, we're saving it there. Now we save it. Okay. Sheesh. I don't like Garrick. I really don't. All right, it's time. Hello, Cuthbert. Oh, hi, Miss Timora. You're a lot less jumpy than you were yesterday. I'm glad to see that you're finally getting used to things. So, what did you find in your investigation? You tell Miss Timora about everything you've learned over the investigation. There aren't a lot of clues to that point to what actually happened. Yeah, I know a lot of the details about the crime scene, but nothing about the crime itself. That means I'll have to rely solely on pointing out contradiction in the witness testimonies. Being reactive to the prosecution move is a valid strategy. Honestly, I think it was a miracle that you got the commander to cooperate with you at all. Right, you almost forgot. Commander White appears to really have it out for Miss Timora. Actually, I wanted to ask about that. Did something happen between you and Commander White? Miss McCoy, please proceed to the courtroom with your counsel. Let's go, Tyrion. The trial's about to start. You should go. The judge is waiting. Right. Another secret is left between you two. This is so like Phoenix, right? Court is now resumed for the trial of Celeste McCoy. Let us review the proceedings from yesterday. Yesterday, the defense presented some shocking oversights made during the investigation. Yes, I personally saw to it that the investigation was conducted properly this time. I see. I suppose that puts my mind at ease. At yesterday's trial, we found an inconsistency between the crime scene photo and the autopsy report. Because of this, the defense tried to push the following narrative: that a third party must have interfered with the crime scene to frame the defendant. However, the prosecution have discovered another explanation. Because of that, the individual who discovered the body would like to testify as to what he saw that night. Is it the butler? Servant? His eyewitness account would clear up what actually happened. Interesting. It was my understanding that the individual in question wanted to remain anonymous. Supposedly, this witness was within the gallery of the trial yesterday. After yesterday's proceedings, he felt that he couldn't stay silent any longer. So that's her plan. Well, why would the witness change his mind like that? Did Steelwind persuade him? Or something else happening here? Very well. Let's hear from this witness. Oh yeah, it's the servant. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name is Reginald Rudolph. I am a chauffeur of the equine variety. Hello? I'm terribly sorry, but I'm unfamiliar with that profession. He means that to say that he's a carriage driver. Oh, I see. But in any case, it is my understanding that you found the body. Am I correct, Mr. Rudolph? He's hesitant. Rudolph appears to be writing something in a notebook. He writes with incredible speed. His pen only touches the paper for maybe a second before he filled the entire page. Mr. Rudolph? Forgive me. I was merely taking notes on the people in this room. taking notes. The witness has a certain compulsion to keep a record of every event that he witnessed. I see. Then I assume we will receive an accurate testimony of how you found the body. Actually, I witnessed much more than that. I saw the crime as it was being committed, and I wrote down everything that I saw. What? That is quite the claim. Wait, you can't see it though because it's dark. That is quite the claim. If that's true, why did you choose to remain silent until now? We had initially concluded that the evidence alone was decisive enough. Therefore, we saw no need at the time for his testimony. However, those circumstances clearly changed during yesterday's trial. There's no way the prosecution wouldn't leverage eyewitness testimony from the start. Something else is happening here. Very well. Mr. Rudolph, please testify to the court about what you saw that night. No. He can't because there was no light. It was dark. He can't possibly see it. I was transporting a client in my carriage that evening, and isn't this going to be part of the what we saw in the beginning? We were driving by the McCoy Tavern. Tavern when we heard the disturbance. This occurred at 1:28 a.m. How the heck? Worried that something was amiss, I walked into the establishment to see what the commotion was about. There, I saw the defendant. She was lit by the blue glow. No, that's not right. But she was lit by the blue glow of the dining room lights. She had stabbed Flintheart McCoy and was channeling magic into her sword. She removed her sword from Flintheart's chest, and as he slowly turned to face her, she stabbed him again in the front. She soon realized that I had witnessed her heinous crime. She let the body fall to the ground and fled the scene. Let the body hit the floor. Let the body. Okay, stop it. Incredible. No. If everything occurred as the witness described, then I see no room for debate. Of course, the evidence has always been irrefutable. Objection. You don't remember seeing him when you left to look for Celeste, but it was pretty dark. Celeste, did you see this man that night? No, this is my first time meeting him, and I didn't see him when I ran out of the tavern that night. So he has to be lying. Does this mean he's the one who killed my dad? She tried her best to hide it, but you can sense her restlessness. It's hard to say right now, but it's definitely a possibility. The defense may now begin their cross-examination. I know which one. You're wrong on this one. I'm gonna just present it right away, because I know. Broken power cell. Bam. Mr. Rudolph, you testified that you saw my client murdering the victim, and you supposedly saw her casting magic while doing so. Yes, I could never forget such a grisly sight. That moment was burned into my memory. This was from the beginning. I see. Well, it's funny that you say that. How so? Because your entire testimony was a complete lie. What? Are you accusing the witness of perjury? Surely you know that such accusation can't be made lightly, Mr. Cuthbert. My accusation is far from baseless, Prosecutor Steelwind. Take a look at this report. The dining room lights are artificial devices that are powered by an arcane power cell. However, that same arcane power cell was broken during the time of the murder. The dining room lights had no energy, and the rooms would have been pitch black. The witness couldn't have seen anything, much less a homicide. Wait, I can explain. There's no need, witness. You could have easily seen another source of light. Perhaps one of the McCoy lit a candle because of the blackout? The witness clearly described the source of blue light. A candle or lantern wouldn't emit a color like that. Then the witness was clearly mistaken. The witness records everything he sees in his notebook. He even remembers the exact time that each event occurred. So why would he be incorrect about such a clear and obvious detail? Ha ha ha. No, what the witness saw was clearly some form of magic. And due to the lack of power, it couldn't have been artificial. It must have been an arcane spell. That's it. What is it, witness? The judge I'm over it. I must have made an incorrect assumption. Please allow me to revise my testimony. What do you think, prosecutor Steelwin? If the witness wants to revise his testimony, then I see no harm in obliging him. And you, Mr. Cuthbert, if he thinks he saw something different, then it's only fair to hear him out. You'll tear through each of its life no matter what he does. Alright, here we go. I remember now. Yesterday, it was revealed that Flintheart was killed using magic. I must have seen Flintheart's daughter channeling a magic spell. The spell was called Magic Blade. Am I correct? That's it. The blue glow that I saw must have been created by Magic Blade. Sorry, did I say Magic Blade? Mage Blade. Mage Blade. Wait. Wait. I see. So the blue light that you saw, came from the defendant's magic. Mr. Cuthbert, you may proceed with your cross-examination. With pleasure. Oh, I didn't even do the old voice. Oh well, I don't care. I remember now yesterday, I must have seen channeling. All of these are basically lies. Mage Blade, right? Am I correct? The blue glow I saw must have been created. Is it blue? Let me look. Compendium. Contains the formula for the following spell, Mage Blade. Can I see that? Spell. Duh. For the duration of the spell, the edges of this object, usually a blade, become unnaturally. The object emits yellow radiant glow, so you are wrong in that. It's not blue, it is yellow. So we are going with this. I think, I hope, I pray. No, it has to be this, right? I almost messed it up. It's this one, right? Objection! Mr. Rudolph, you don't know much about magic, do you? Of course not. Are you trying to say that I should have recognized Celeste's Mage Blade? No, I admit that you probably wouldn't know about Mage Blade. But that's exactly where your mistake was. My mistake? Mr. Rudolph, if you were aware of how Mage Blade works, then you would know that the spell emits a yellow radiant glow. Which means the blue glow you saw couldn't have possibly been Mage Blade. This is ridiculous. I'll grant you that the witness clearly remembers seeing a blue glow. But what significance could such a minor detail have? It's extremely significant, Prosecutor Steelwind. If the witness did see a blue magical glow, then he must have witnessed another spell at the scene. Preposterous! You don't have any evidence to back that claim. That blue light made a large impression on the witness. He wrote it down in his book, and he specifically mentioned the color. There's no way he could have been... He would be mistaken about something like that. So, what did you really see, Mr. Rudolph? Did you see my client at the scene, casting a spell that she couldn't possibly cast? Or did you see another mage at the scene? Well... Your Honor, the defense had no right to accuse the witness like this. Let me remind you that perjury is a crime, Mr. Rudolph. If you are found that to have lied in your testimony, you will be prosecuted. No, wait, please. Now that's quite enough. Garrick Pierce suddenly steps down from the gallery and walks to the witness stand. He's breaking every possible rule in the book, but no one in the room moves to stop him. The bailiff looks to the judge nervously, but the judge just casts his eyes and carefully watches Pierce. Pierce, meanwhile, shoves the still flustered Rudolph off the stand and begins addressing the courtroom because Rudolph's about to break, so he wants to try and do the lie himself. What is he even doing here? I will not stand by while you harass my servant. Pierce, we discussed this. There is no need for you to take the stand. And what, pray tell, did they discuss? Nonsense, I have nothing to hide. And if you have done your job properly, I wouldn't have need to intervene. For the first time, Steelwind didn't seem to have control of the situation. What is the meaning of this, Miss Steelwind? Who is this man? This is Garrick Pierce, Your Honor. That is Lord Garrick Pierce to you, Steelwind. I am the honorable heir to the Pierce noble house. In any case, I must apologize. I'm afraid that these misunderstandings are entirely my fault. What do you mean? You see, Rudolph wasn't the one who witnessed the crime that fateful night. It was me. I was the one who witnessed the crime. I had my driver report so that I could remain anonymous. What? Are you saying that you had Rudolph lie for you? I simply dedicated to him what I saw and had him repeat that to law enforcement. It simply wouldn't do for a member of the nobility to appear publicly in court. Lord Pierce, regardless of your intention, this is a very clear act of perjury. But from the look on the judge's face, you can easily tell that he won't face any actual consequences. I understand, and I will accept the consequences of that. But I would be remiss if Rudolph's shoddy testimony allowed that girl to escape her crime. Please allow me to testify as to what I saw that night. Very well. This is highly irregular, but I believe the court will benefit from hearing your testimony. However, know that this misconduct has hurt your credibility. Very well. Witness testimony. On the night of the murder, I found myself unable to sleep. Were you there? So I went on a leisurely carriage ride around Cornhaven. I happened to be passing by the McCoy Tavern when I heard a loud commotion from within the building. Curious, I stopped my carriage and took a single step inside the establishment. Then I saw the scene inside. Let's press that one because how can he? I saw the defendant stabbing the poor man twice with her sword. Twice. Garrett Pierce, he's a member of the nobility. That means he's probably a mage, right? And he's the only other mage that was there that night. Does that mean... There's no doubt about it. Really? He is the one? He's the only person that could have left a trace of transmutation on the body. He has to be the mage that we're looking for. Poor Celeste. Sorry. This must be a lot for you right now. Don't worry about me. Focus on taking him down. On the night... I want to press very quick. That seems like a strange way to pass time. Not that you believe him for a second. The witness' eccentricity are beside the point. What matters is that he was clearly at the scene. I wouldn't quite put it that way. But nevertheless... How about... I happened to be passing and I heard... I don't know about that. Wait. Unable to sleep. I went on a leisurely carriage. Okay. Okay. Took a single step inside. Press this. If he was at the tavern entrance, then that would mean he was here. This one? Yeah. And it would happen here. Crime scene map McCoy Tavern has been updated in your notes. Claim to have witnessed the witness. This is the witness. That's impossible as he wouldn't have the proper lighting. You saw the entire scene from the tavern entrance. It would have been quite dark considering the lights weren't operational. Even if my client was using Mage Blade at the time. Ah, of course, I've forgotten that detail. I couldn't see what was happening, so I used my magic to illuminate the scene. You used magic at the crime scene. Yes, I remember it clearly. I conjured a blue light to illuminate the scene. That same blue light must have been what my driver saw. I thought that Rudolph didn't witness the crime at all. If I had to guess, Mr. Rudolph must have seen the blue light from the carriage. He must have made that detail a part of his testimony earlier. That actually makes a lot of sense now you think of it. Rudolph was so sure that he saw the blue light. It would be strange if he was lying about that. But anyways, which spell did you use to illuminate the crime scene? It was the Conjure Light spell. For the duration, blah blah. 15 feet. Provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further. Okay. Your Honor, if the witness used magic at the crime scene, then I'd like for his spell compendium to be added to the court record. I see no reason to invade the witness' privacy over a trivial illumination spell. I agree. The defense would need a stronger reason to requisition the witness spell compendium. Right you are, Your Honor. Your wisdom is truly fitting of your station. Oh, shut up. Wait, I want to see this. Is this the map? No, that's not the one. Sorry. Map. Hold on. Each square is 5 feet, and his magic could only do 15. Here, 2, 3. He's only up to here. He couldn't reach there. I'm gonna put the map for this one. From there I could clearly see. I'm gonna present the map to you.
Objection!
Lord Pierce, you said that you illuminated the scene from the tavern entrance, and you only took a single step into the building. Of course. I remember it very clearly. I stood only at the entrance. In that case, I'd like for you to take a look at the map of the tavern. If we take a look at this map, that would place you right here, where the W is. Am I correct? Of course, I was. I do not know what you wish to achieve by having me repeat that fact. Well, I find it interesting that you eliminated the crime scene from all the way back there, considering that Conjure Light only illuminates an area within 15 feet. What? That spell range is irrelevant. We've already established that the victim would have been illuminated by Mage Blade. During his testimony, Lord Pierce clearly stated that he couldn't see what was happening. That's why he cast Conjure Light in the first place. However, Conjure Light doesn't work like a normal source of light. It only provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further. If he had stayed at the entrance, his spell wouldn't have done anything to help illuminate the scene. But what does that mean? Lord Pierce, did you eliminate the crime scene or not? Well, I can answer that question for you, Your Honor. Lord Pierce did illuminate the scene of the crime. He illuminated it because he was standing right where it happened. Mr. Cuthbert, are you trying to say that Lord Pierce was that close to where the murder occurred? How would that be possible? Well, there's only one way this scenario would make sense, Your Honor. And that would be if Garrett Pierce was the one who murdered Flintheart McCoy. Oh my gosh, I am so tired already. Hold on for a moment. This is absurd. I could have easily used a different spell to illuminate the room. And which spell would that be, Pierce? The name escapes me. I'm not sure which one it was now that I think about it. You idiot. Well, maybe we can figure it out together when you relinquish your spell compendium to the court. What? This is clear violation of my privacy. Dilwyn, why aren't you objecting to this? If you had listened to my instruction, you wouldn't be in this situation. You made your bed, now lie in it. Dilwyn, you treacherous. Oh, Judge Angie. That's enough. It appears that the prosecution has no objection. With everything that has occurred, I must ask that Lord Pierce relinquish his spell compendium to the court. Okay, so you got... This is definitely D&D. Prestidigitation, conjure light, conjure water, frost wave, and shape liquid. Okay. Gesture. The caster creates a simple and harmless visual effect around their hand. This effect will last for as long as they maintain. Okay, excuse me. We're getting everything. Causes magic to magically flow out of the... This has nothing to do with it. Frost wave. Anything cast within the range is hit with a blast of extremely cold air. Liquid hit will be immediately frozen and organic life will immediately enter a stage of hypothermia. And manipulate up to 10 liters of liquid and form it at any while frozen, the caster can also choose to make the liquid sponge instantaneously melt. Good job, Tyrion! We got his spell compendium! With that, this case is as good as ours. Or is it? She didn't even try to stop you from taking his spell compendium. She wouldn't let that happen just to spite Lord Pierce. She definitely still has something up her sleeve. Your Honor, I've looked at the spells in Lord Pierce's compendium. Conjure Light is the only spell that he can cast that would shed a blue light. This renders his testimony and many of his statements false. You can practically hear Lord Pierce grinding his teeth. Your Honor, Lord Pierce could have very well be a suspect in the murder of Flintheart McCoy. The defense argues that this presents enough reasonable doubt to acquit the defendant. I acknowledge that Lord Pierce's actions are quite suspect. However, I will not pass a verdict just yet. I forgot the voice. There is much more we need to learn. What? That's not how it works. We proved that there's reasonable doubt. That should be enough to acquit me, right? In the normal case, maybe. But it's different for this trial. The public won't accept an unsolved homicide involving magic. Unless we can unequivocally prove you're innocent, the court will keep drawing out this case. What? But that's not fair. That's just how the system works. Our court system doesn't exist to exact justice. It exists so that the kingdom can save face. No. However, the court will be suspending the trial of Celeste McCoy until further notice. That is, until Lord Pierce can be investigated as a possible suspect.
Objection!
We can't pause it, right? Possible suspect? The very idea of that is preposterous, Your Honor. Dang it. You knew she was planning something. Let's revisit the basic facts of this case, shall we? Flintheart McCoy was murdered using a blade with a transmutation spell active on it. Mr. Cuthbert, why don't you tell me the spell that Lord Pierce knows? Alright. His spells are Prestidigitation, Conjure Light, Conjure Water, Frost Wave, and Shape Liquid. You've realized it too, haven't you? Lord Pierce doesn't know any transmutation spell that can be channeled through a solid object. What? That can't be right. A solid object. So that means liquid? Ha! You're right. You're absolutely right, Lady Stillwind. I couldn't have possibly committed the murder. I see. With that in mind, that would leave the defendant as the only possible killer. But he was the only other mage there. He has to be the real murderer. But he doesn't know any transmutation spell that can affect a solid object. We can't prove that he stabbed him while casting magic. Wait a minute. How did he do it then? She's right. How did he do it? If there are traces of transmutation magic on the wound, then Flintheart was definitely stabbed by something magical. But none of his transmutation spells can affect a steel blade. Does that mean he used something else? No! The defense did cast some doubts on this witness testimony. Nevertheless, I must conclude that he could not have possibly committed the murder. With that in mind, please wait, Your Honor. We still can't conclude that Lord Pierce couldn't have committed the crime. What are you on about? Lady Steelwind said it herself, you commoner. I don't know any spell that can be channeled through a metal blade. He's right, which can only mean one thing. You didn't use a metal blade, did you? Fear, he's scared. What nonsense is this? The autopsy reports clearly state that the wound was created by a blade. If he didn't channel magic through a blade, how could he have possibly committed the crime? Yes, your claim seems quite contrary to the facts thus far, Mr. Cuthbert. Which spell did Lord Pierce use to commit murder? Is something with liquid. Percent. Spell. Let's look at this. Conjure water. Causes water to magically flow out of the caster's hand. This water will flow so long as the caster maintains concentration on the spell. What about you? While concentrating on this spell, the caster can magically manipulate, there you go, up to 10 liters of liquid and form it into complex shapes. At any time, the caster can choose to freeze the liquid, here we go, and solidify its current shape. While frozen, the caster can also choose to make the liquid instantly melt. So, here be that. You see, Your Honor, Garrick Pierce he killed the victim using a sword. He killed him using a sword shaped exactly like a sword. I think I read that wrong, but he used some kind of liquid to make it look like it's solid. What? I'm afraid I don't quite understand, Mr. Cuthbert. I think I read that wrong. I'm so sorry. I'd like for the court to take a look at Lord Pierce's spell compendium. Garrick Pierce knows a seemingly insignificant spell called Shape Liquid. With it, he can control a body of water and shape it into any complex shape he wants. Then he can freeze that liquid, maintaining its current shape. A shape like a sword. What? No. Is it possible that he... What do you have to say for yourself, Lord Pierce? What do I have to say? Pierce's breathing becomes more frantic. He's clearly not used to being put in a corner like this. You can see his stress and frustration emanating through the eye of Horus. You have him now. Time for the finishing blow. Yes. Okay, is this the final one? I'll tell you exactly what I have to say, you commoner. I'm not the one on trial here. We're here because of that crazy child. That crazy child didn't know her place. She's just a pheasant, yet she still learned arcane arts. And look what happened. I saw the murder. I witnessed everything. That girl used our holy arts to murder her father in a fit of rage. Present the map. And how, pray tell, did you see everything? If you recall, you testified that you only took a single step inside the inn. But you would have needed to be within 15 feet to see my client with conjured light. This again? If you're going to keep treading with that one detail, then I admit it. I stepped further into the inn. I kept that detail out of my testimony. All because I knew that you'd use it to cast suspicion on me. Lord Pierce. But you didn't just keep that detail from your testimony, did you? You testified the opposite. That makes you guilty of committing perjury. No, I mean... you miserable wretch. Perjury by Garrick Pierce. Has openly admitted to committing perjury in this courtroom. His lies haven't gone unnoticed. And let's not stop there. For your story to be true, you would have needed to be within 15 feet of my client. According to your testimony, my client has just finished committing a murder. Wouldn't she have noticed you? I If you were that close, then you would have surely been close enough to apprehend her. So why didn't you? Don't you have a duty to your citizen? Shut up, you dirty pheasant mouse. That woman was armed. I had no reason to put my life in danger. She was wielding her sword after the murder. I was terrified when I saw her holding that bloody sword. My life was in danger. But it wasn't exactly the sword, right? Is this the one? I think. It wasn't. Wait, is it bloody? It wasn't bloody, actually. So present this. But that can't be right, can it, Lord Pierce? This photo of the crime scene shows that the sword was left in the victim's body. How could she still be wielding her sword if she left it there? Oh, that's right. What? Dang you. Steelwind, why aren't you saying anything? What? Prosecutor Steelwind had lost her usual air of confidence. You find it strange, though. Even when you had the advantage, she always maintained her usual poise. Lord Pierce, please, pull yourself together. How can I remain calm when this charlatan is trying to frame me? This is completely travesty of our justice system. I came here to reveal the truth and testify against that criminal. And what do I get instead? Slander from some lowly defense attorney. You just lied to us. Your perjury thing. You just lied to us. You talk about justice, but you've committed several acts of perjury to twist the outcome of this trial. You're clearly not acting in good faith. You don't care about justice. You just want to further your agenda. So admit it, Pierce. You created a makeshift sword using shape liquid, and you used it to impale Flintheart. You shoved my client's sword into the wound while the remnants of the real murder weapon evaporated. It was a perfect crime, wasn't it? What? Lord Pierce? My apologies, Your Honor. It's just that I realized something absolutely hilarious. What? Has he finally lost his mind? The defense put forward an interesting theory, but there's one problem with it. And what's that? I think you said it yourself. You shoved Celeste's sword into the wound while the remnants of the real murder weapon evaporated. It was a perfect crime, wasn't it? You see, it would have been a perfect crime, because any evidence to support that theory would have evaporated with that frozen blade. What about the bottle? It was close. The bottle was close to the body, right? What? Let me check the... Hold on. No! Wait. Shattered bottle of Lotus. The shattered remains of the glass bottle Flintheart McCoy was holding this bottle and dropped it during the murder it contained. Dropped it during the murder. He dropped it during the murder. So, there was nothing else that was close to him, to his body. And he dropped this during the murder. This might be something. No! He's right. If he used an ice blade to kill Flintheart, it would have evaporated by now. Then that means there would be nothing left of the murder weapon. Objection. You spun quite a tale here today, but in the end, you don't have a shred of evidence to support it, do you? You have nothing on me. Isn't there anything we can do? You become quiet. Tyrion? Why isn't he saying anything? Is it really hopeless? But all it takes is one look at the expression on your face. Any worry she has instantly disappears because she realized the expression on your face is the same expression you made every time you defeated her. What is this? You can glare at me all you want. It won't change the fact that you've lost. I despise people like you. Huh? You twist the system to serve your own end. You trample on the lives of innocent people. But as long as I'm here, I will never let that happen again. Is this something related to his past?
Naught can remain concealed.
Ooh, empowered eye. What did I just do? Your head feels like it's about to burst. The pain is unbearable and overwhelming. But at the same time, you feel an extreme sense of clarity, as if you can see more than you could before. I can't believe that pheasant pushed me this far. Once again, you see Pierce's thoughts through the eye of Horus, but this sensation feels different from how it usually is. It's more intense and potent this time. It's almost as if you can do more than just read his surface level thoughts. Empowered Eye. You've activated the Empowered Eye. With it, you'll be able to do more than see the witness thoughts. You'll be able to affect what they think about. Project items into Pierce's mind to evoke thoughts from him. You'll want to project items that make him think about the murder. Evoking the right thoughts will raise your insight. Once the insight gauge is filled, you'll have everything you need to implicate him. Project. I'm gonna say the bottle. I don't get this concept, the concept of the empowered eye, but I'm gonna say the bottle because it's close to the body. Why am I thinking of such thing? Oh, that piece of evidence didn't evoke any useful thoughts from him. Maybe you'll see something if you project pieces of evidence related to the murder. What did I project then? Wait. Oh, I keep on forgetting that the spell is part of it. Liquid, right? After all the trouble I went to, I can't believe that lawyer figured out the spell I used. Well, no matter. It's not as if there's any evidence to prove that I used it. I'm lucky that old fool had the bottle of water with him. There we go. Water from a bottle? Wait, a bottle? Well then, as riveting as this has been, I believe it's time for me to take my leave. Now wait a minute, Pierce. What is it now, you wretch? I'll say it as many times as you need to hear. There is no evidence of a liquefied weapon at the crime scene. Bottle, now we use the bottle. You're right, Pierce. If you did use shape liquid on a body of water, the murder weapon would have evaporated entirely. Ah, it seems you've finally gotten that fact through your thick head. Bravo. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Pierce. What if you didn't use shape liquid on a body of water? What if it was another type of liquid? What are you going on about? Pierce, shape liquid doesn't just work on water. It works on all kinds of liquid. Right. This shattered bottle contained the liquid that you cast your spell on, didn't it? You show him the picture of the shattered bottle of lotus juice. That bottle. Pierce, I found this shattered bottle on the ground near the victim's body. I wonder what caused it to shatter. You must have decided to use any liquid you could find. Luckily for you, the victim was holding the perfect quantity of liquid in his hand. I wonder, Lord Pierce, if we had someone analyze the broken pieces of this bottle, would we find traces of transmutation magic? You little. That still proves nothing. So what if there are traces of magic on the shattered bottle? You still don't have a murder weapon. I wasn't finished, Pierce. What? You see, the liquid contained in this bottle wasn't water. It was soda. So, what difference does that make? A blade of ice made out of water would have evaporated entirely, but a blade of ice made out of soda would leave a puddle of dried residue. No, it can't be. I wondered why there was such circular trace of magic under the body. If we check the outline of that trace, I didn't think of this part, I bet we'd find a dried puddle of soda residue. That would prove that you used your magic on that soda. There's your murder weapon, Pierce. Is he gonna go insane, just like Phoenix Wright attorney cases? And that's checkmate. Is he gonna go insane? Bailiff, tell Orem to analyze the crime scene at once. Oh gosh. We must determine if this puddle of soda residue exists. The time window to find traces of magic is closing. I don't know why I said it that way. So, we had our team search the crime scene for that soda puddle. I really can't believe it, but we found it. In fact, the outline of the dried soda lines up exactly with the outline of the trace of transmutation magic. We checked the broken bottle too. There were traces of transmutation magic on it as well. There's no doubt about it. Someone used magic on that soda. I see. Thank you, Orem. Please escort Lord Pierce back to the stand. What do you have to say for yourself, Pierce? What do you think you've accomplished here today? Do you honestly think you can indict me? I'm an aristocrat from the highest echelons of our society. That fool of a man was an insurgent. He was a threat to society, and I did my civic duty by removing him.
Objection!
Let's go, Arya. I like her. She may be an enemy, but I kind of like her. Bailiff, please escort the witness to a holding cell. Steelwyn? First-degree murder is punishable by execution, Lord Pierce. I suggest you remain silent, lest you incriminate yourself further. What? You can't be serious. Shut your insidious mouth. Ooh. Well, what are you all waiting for? Take him away. Yes. Yes. Take him away at once. I don't know what's the voice. Yes. Take him away at once. I don't know what voice. I don't know. I can't believe it. We actually won. That was honestly easy, and I'm still upset that the culprit was already known since the beginning. Like, I wish they kept it as a mystery, but I wonder if it's more because they want to expose the corruption of nobles. I wonder, but still, I wish they kept the culprit's identity as a mystery for me. Tyrion, it's all she can do to hold back her tears. You don't need to say anything. Your face says it all. Thank you. You've more than exceeded my expectation today. Miss Timora, I'll be honest. When I realized that the murder weapon evaporated, I thought that the case was shot. I can't believe you were able to turn that around. It was just luck. If he had used water, we would have been done for. Honestly, I thought it was because there would be remnants still on the bottle, the shards. I didn't know that it was because it was a soda. It had nothing to do with luck. You were able to deduce which liquid he used, and you did it just by looking at the few shards of broken glass. Your skills of deduction never cease to amaze me. That's not exactly true, but with Celeste there, you can't tell her about your new ability. You all are quite lovely. There's no need for such hostility. She was on our side at the end, so there's no reason. So, I wouldn't expect any less from the Hound of the Eye Taker. Ooh, wait, what does she mean by that? You glance at Miss Timora, but when she meets your gaze, she immediately looks away. And she got scared at the eyes thing. She looks like she's focusing, almost as if to protect herself from a certain eye. I must admit, I was hoping to test my blade against you directly. However, your prestige proved to be a worthy adversary. Thank you? Is this some kind of game to you? You talk about trials as if they're some kind of competition. Arya is like Miles Edgeworth then. Your action almost condemned an innocent woman to death. Our system operates by having two powers of opposition. When those powers are balanced, justice prevails. Yep, Miles Edgeworth. Make no mistake, your victory today was just our system working as intended. Ha! Working as intended? You know very well our system only exists to protect your people. I know. What? She feels sad about that. I think she became a prosecutor because she wants to reveal all that corruption thing. In any case, it looks like we'll be facing each other more frequently in the future. I look forward to doing battle with you again, Tyrion Cuthbert. What a strange girl. Well, that kind of killed the mood, didn't it? Not at all. I think we should celebrate. Oh? What do you have in mind? There's this amazing restaurant in the upper quarter of the capital city. They usually only serve nobles, but they let anyone in if they have enough gold. Wait, do we have enough gold? Of course we do. Don't worry about the details. What did she do? I'll handle everything. Wait, just how much money does Miss Timura make? And so began my journey in the world of law and magic. Our justice system is rotten to its core, and I'll have many trials ahead. Regardless, I'll keep fighting on and get justice for every one of my clients. And that is the end of episode 1. Yay. That was cool. I still am upset that the culprit's identity was already revealed since the beginning, and all we just have to do is prove that he did it. But we already saw that he did the deed, so I'm upset. I was hoping for like a twist that it was someone else who did it, but I guess not. This feeling, I knew it. His radiant soul has finally awakened. I can't believe it. I've been waiting for so long. Who's it? I can't wait for the day. Excuse me. Oh gosh, excuse me. Ooh. When I see this eyes draped in agony, my burp was in agony. Interesting. Okay. So that was episode 1. I want to see what it looked like. Oh, are we just playing this? Are we all playing this one by one? It doesn't go like goes next or something? Huh. Wait, so no. No. Oh, you can start case 3 that's not right. We'll go with case 2 in the next video. But that was it for case 1 of Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. That was cool with the Phoenix Wright-ish kind of gameplay. I never encountered that gameplay, so that was cool. Maybe I should have, I don't know if I should have started with Phoenix Wright though, but the thing is, I know the story of Phoenix Wright, so I didn't want to play that. This one, I didn't know the story, so that's why I want to pick this, this game, which by the way, there we go. But for the first case, definitely a bit straightforward. I mean, a little bit of figuring out though. I'm still upset that the criminal of the case was already identified, like towards the beginning. Like we know what the criminal looked like, the culprit. We knew what the culprit looked like since the beginning of the case. So that's just weird to me. I kind of wish that they kind of kept it as a mystery of the identity of the criminal, of the culprit, until like towards the end of the case. That's what I was hoping. It would have made it a little more fun with that case. But we'll just go with it. I'm kind of hoping that the next few cases that I see here, the case 2, 3, 4, and 5, I'm hoping that these cases will have a little more of a twist in it, a little bit more of an intensity. There was some intense moment in the previous case, but I think it could have been done a little more to make it intense. So I'm hoping these cases will do the trick. But that is all for the first case of Tyrion Cuthbert, attorney of the Arcane. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want more content from me in the future, and I'll see you all. I don't know why I froze there. I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy.